Hello everyone, welcome to Northwest Arkansas and welcome to Grace Hollow Rabbitry. I'm PJ and I raise commercial meat breed rabbits. I raise New Zealand's in black, blue, and broken, and I raise silver fox in black and blue, and I'm also starting a broken program with them. I raise rabbits for fertilizer for my garden, for meat for my dinner table, and for competition on the judges table. Good afternoon, everyone. We have Everlong here, and Everlong is getting her nest box today. I recently talked to you about how to prepare a winter nest box for a doe that is due to Kendall. So today I want to talk to you about preparing the doe, or at least checking the doe. No, I'm not going to go through and show you all the steps. But at the time that you give your nest box, there's a few things you want to do in addition. First of all, you want to clean your cage. Take a wire brush out, scrub the floor clean, remove any debris that's stuck to the wire on the bottom or the sides. Make sure you have a clean cage. And once all the debris is removed, you can take some hot soapy water and wash it down with like a plastic scrub brush, and then rinse it out. And then I like to spray it down with a little bleach solution, 10 parts water and 1 part bleach. And then just let that set and dry. And while that's drying, you want to check out your doe and make sure she's good to go. Now the first thing I did was get a weight on her. Now I weighed her at the time of breeding, and she was 11 pounds 2 ounces, I believe. That's what she normally runs. And then I checked her 2 weeks after I bred. I weighed her again, and she had gained a few ounces. And so I was pretty certain she had taken. Now you can also palpate. I myself am not great at palpating. Sometimes I hit it, sometimes I don't. So I prefer to just use the weight. Now the weight's not 100% guaranteed. Sometimes does can gain weight from maturity and you think she's bred and she's not. And then sometimes, it's hot or the weather conditions, and so she goes, doesn't eat as much as normal, and she may not gain weight, or she may even lose a little, and you may assume she's not pregnant. So it's not a surefire guarantee, but my practice is at 2 weeks. I weigh, and then I palpate, and if I'm unsure, then I go ahead and I put her in with a buck. If she's not bred, a lot of times she'll go ahead and rebreed. If she is bred, more often than not, oh, did that baby bite you? You jumped and scared me. We have a Washita's, not her last litter, her second litter. We've got 3 of her bucks here and 3 of the bucks down below. And Everlong's got her head in the corner, and the little guy was pulling on her fur. So anyway, if she is bred, a lot of times she'll fuss and grumble and lay flat and refuse to breed, and that's a good indicator that she's bred. Now the best way to tell is to palpate, and if you are good at it, if you feel the little nodules in there, the little marbles, they should feel like little marbles. And I find for New Zealand, it's best to do it right about day 10, day 11. A lot of times I don't get out here then. I usually don't check till day 14. And by then the marbles are big enough that they kind of blend in with all the rest of her insides. And so that's why I'm not very good at it. I really don't do it at the right time. So once you have your cage cleaned, you want to make sure your feeders are clean and your water bowl is clean, and of course you have a clean, prepared nest box. So now that all her environment is clean, you want to check on your doe. First thing you want to do is check for ear mites. Okay, we're looking good there. Very good. No ear mites. And then you just want to look at her overall condition. And she looks real good. Her coat is full and chewed on. Back up. Because the little one over there is chewing on her. Let's flip her over and look at her teeth. Okay, her teeth are good. We'll make sure she doesn't have any genital infection, and she doesn't. And her bottom is nice and clean, so she's in good health. So she looks real good. And then the last thing I'm going to do, oh, I was talking about weights. When I weighed her at breeding, she was 11 pounds 2 ounces. And then at 2 weeks, she was about 11 pounds 8 ounces. So she was doing pretty good. And then I weighed her today, and today she's 12 pounds 6 ounces. So there's no doubt in my mind that we can expect a litter. Oh, when she was upside down, should have checked her teats. Let's go ahead. Okay, yes. So right before they start to kindle, their teats will kind of swell up, and sometimes if you give them a little squeeze, you might even get some milk out of them. Now the last thing I'm going to do is trim her toenails. And I've got this set way up too high. I put her up high so that you could see her, but then I can't reach her. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove her from the table and trim her toenails. And then we'll put her in her cage, her clean, dry cage, and give her her new clean, dry, prepared nest box. Here you go, Mama. Here you go, Mama. Yeah. Good girl. There you go. Okay, one thing I wanted to mention, a lot of times on the last few days before your doe is due, each doe is different. Some does get hungry, and so their appetite increases, and that's what Everlong does. The last week that she's pregnant and just before she's ready to go, boy, she just really chows down on the food and she's hungry. A lot of does, however, the last 2 or 3 days before they kindle, they go off feed or not eat as much. So if you see either of those things, neither of those are uncommon. It just really depends on your doe and how they cope with the final days of gestation. Now, a lot of times you put the doe in her clean cage and then give her her clean nest box. Many times right away, even 3 days before they're due, day 28, put the nest box in. A lot of times right away they will get in there and start digging and stashing hay, and frequently some does will go ahead and start pulling fur at that time too. Now most of my does, most of mine do not pull fur until either a few minutes before kindling, or more often than not, they have their litter and then they pull that fur off and they start pushing it into the nest with them. Now mine do about 50-50, but almost every one of mine wait until within minutes of kindling before they pull their fur. And they'll pull that fur from their chest area and their dewlap area, their tummy and their inner thighs. So if by chance your doe does not pull fur or does not pull fur enough, these does, the way their bodies are conditioned, they pull that fur out themselves. If they don't, you can flip them over and you can manually pull their fur out from their dewlap or their chest or their tummy. Now, you can pull it from their inner thighs too, but to me, I'm uncomfortable with that because I think of my own inner thighs and I keep thinking, oh, that would be a very tender spot to pull fur. Now, I know it's not. I've seen does do it. They pull their fur out from their inner thighs all the time. Just me personally, I feel like their dewlaps are made for mamas. They're made for raising a litter. So when I pull fur, I'll flip them over and I will manually pull that fur out from their dewlaps. And they don't even flinch. They just sit there and let you do it. That's the way they are made. They're supposed to do it themselves, but if they don't, you certainly can do it for them. It does not hurt the rabbit. They are made to pull their fur out, and so you can do it for them, and it does not injure the rabbit. It does not hurt them. It's only doing what they should do themselves naturally. If you've liked this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see my next video release, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Down below, I'm going to leave a couple of links. One is going to be to our rabbitry fan page, where you can come and see more of the day-to-day things that's going on here at the rabbitry. And I'm also going to leave a link to my webpage. Be sure to check out both of those links at your convenience. Thanks for watching, and until we speak again, God bless.